Hello, nieces and nephews. This is Auntie Netta, and welcome to my channel, my platform. You guys, after I got offline with you guys last night, I realized there's so much more that I can talk about regarding yesterday's topic, and it's co-parenting. Get those folks out your business. Get the courts out your business. All right. So let's start here. You know how you don't agree with something maybe that your child's mother or father talking about, or you just don't agree. Just don't come off willy-nilly on those emails. Remember, keep everything in an email. It's just so much easier. Everything, all the communications through email. It's easy to reference back to. But anywho, you know, you're in a dispute with your child's mother or father. Compose that email like you don't agree with your supervisor and you want to let your supervisor know other ways, a better way, or, you know, give suggestions. Okay, so y'all know how to word stuff like that to your supervisor. Do the same thing. Don't get in your feelings. Just keep it straight professional. I should have said that in the beginning, huh? Keep it professional. All right. Don't talk bad about the other parent to the child or around the child. I talk about this all the time. Don't think because the child in the next room, they can't hear you. You got to set it up where you know that child can't hear you. There is no way in the world that child can hear you. Sit in the car, driveway, because those things does have an impact on how your child grow up, as well as how they view relationships. Okay. Having various acquaintances. Y'all know what acquaintances is. Y'all, you know what I'm trying to say. If you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, or a wife, or a husband, you know what I mean? Having various acquaintances around the kids. You know what I mean? Mama got boyfriend this week. Then next month she got a new boyfriend. 6 months down the line, it's a new boyfriend. No, kids don't need to be involved in none of that. If you know you like that, don't have that mess around the kids. Ain't no introduction, no nothing. You just hang out with your friends somewhere else, because I'm hoping you will get somebody who got their own place that you can lay your head knowing you got children. Okay? So make sure you do what you need to do while the kids are with their father. Okay? You make plans that way. Otherwise, kids shouldn't even know you dating. Especially if y'all willy-nilly like that. Plus, this is a plus, because I've seen so many news, local news stations or radio stations talking about how the lady's boyfriend killed the child. Like, that's not saying if it was the father in the battle, but it's like you left your child with a boyfriend. I mean, you know what I mean. I ain't talking about boyfriend of 5 years. I mean, you shouldn't be no boyfriend. You have no boyfriend 5 years. Y'all should be husband and wife. But that's another thing. But yeah, don't involve your acquaintance. I'm going to use that acquaintance. That means the other woman, the girlfriends, boyfriends, not legit people, you know what I'm saying. Don't allow them to babysit your kids. That's a no-no. You need somebody to babysit during your time with your children, get your mama to do it. Get that grandma to do it. Get that auntie to do it. All right? I ain't talking about made-up grandmas. I ain't talking about made-up aunties. I'm talking about really people that, because kids going to run their mouth. Yeah, I hung out with grandma. I hung out with auntie. So, that ain't your auntie, baby. You see what I'm saying? We here to cause no drama. There's ways to do this thing, all right? As long as you got some common sense. Because like I said, everybody not meant to go by these guidelines. Some of y'all need to go to court. If it's hurting your feelings, it must be you. But anyway, next. Again, don't have your acquaintances babysitting your kids. That's not good, because some go down, you and that girlfriend acquaintance going to jail. Like I said. Don't allow the acquaintances. Remember, your new wife, your new girlfriend, your girlfriend. Don't allow them to discipline your children. All right? Men and women. Don't allow y'all acquaintances to discipline the children. You need to set some up. Whereas if this is like one of those permanent boyfriends or them permanent husband, things like that, you get where I'm going in. If they a permanent person in their child's life, that person need to come to you privately. Again, private. Y'all know what I mean by private. Not in the next room. I'm talking about away from where the kids can't hear you. Let your acquaintance tell you what the child have done, and let the parent deal with that. All right? You get that? Don't you? I know maybe sometimes you want to hem them up. No, that ain't even worth it. Because at the end of the day, you won't have the mama. You won't have the child. You might be sending somebody to jail cell and everybody done moved on. Sometimes it's not even worth it. Because everybody else going to live their life while you sitting there trying to figure shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay. I got that down. The child on. Okay. Here's a good one, y'all. When you are traveling, the child is not to catch a ride with the acquaintance. You know, your new wife or your girlfriend or your new husband or your new boyfriend. No. Only way they probably be in the same car together if you driving, you know, and your acquaintance sitting there as a passenger and your child. But if it's your acquaintance driving and the child in the car, you could be your passenger. It don't even matter. Just don't have the acquaintance driving while the child is in the car. Trust me. And I'm not going to say anything I don't know about, okay? I'm giving examples. Story time, okay? So this was a few years ago. My friend have a husband, but she also have a child with her ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, sorry. So, of course, the child, I ain't gonna say of course, the child lives with the woman. She go to work, but the kid's school is close to her husband's job. Now again, the children don't belong to her husband. It belongs to her ex-husband. All right? So it ain't no can't help me out, can't take this kids because your job is by the school. Can you drive? No. Nope. You deal with your own kids and you treat your kids like there's no other person in your life. You got to. Because the kids live with, of course, my friend. All right? And her husband was giving the children a ride to the school, which is close to his job. So on the way, again, the mama got custody. On the way, somehow, they got in a car accident. See what I'm getting at? Now, the children's father, ex-husband, doesn't have custody. He might do visitation. He might not even really be in the child's life. It don't even matter. Do you know that ex-husband sued their insurance company? Can you imagine your ex-husband suing you just because your new husband's driving your children or your child? Not saying that it'll be any different if she was driving. It's not that. But trust, y'all know how things can get turned up just because the new husband drove versus the the wife. That makes sense? Yeah, just drive your own churn, you know what I mean? And don't leave your kids along with their acquaintances because he say, she say, you don't know who to believe. Yeah, it's just a lot. Everything I'm telling you is for a reason, okay? And, okay. Now, these things I'm sharing with you about the co-parenting, please have those guidelines in place and you have it habitual. That means you got it in habit where it's not even a big deal. It's just something y'all do together. Y'all got your calendar together. Y'all know from beginning to end. We ain't changing no schedule. This is what's going to be. It's in writing. You know, we not going to mix. You get what I'm saying? But make sure it's all done before the child is 7 years old. These are things, me being a parent, a grandmama, or auntie, these are things I've learned. Because by the time your child is 7, first of all, they're going to know what's up. Everything's being said, they can process it. They can form opinions about it and be dead on probably, because kids, they going to tell you what it is. All right, based on right, wrong, okay? Or they can manipulate the situation. Yeah, we know beef. Yeah, if I get this, maybe I can get that. No. Like I said, that's possible your child can grow up and be a manipulator. We don't know. But make sure your child has everything. Everything you want your child to learn, as far as basic, have them to learn it by the time they're 7. Otherwise, they start thinking for themselves and they will start doing actions. Yeah, we ain't just talking about, okay, I threw my toy down the toilet. No. They would do others. It won't be no kiddie stuff done. That makes sense. So have everything these guidelines in place, meaning y'all been doing this from the beginning, following these guidelines. Make sure it's in place where it becomes habit even with your child, because your child can get into the communication. Like Dad told me, you can do it that way. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Remember the drama. Oh, and then by the time they're 7, they will start remembering, meaning they will have memory. When they get older, they're going to remember what happened back when they were 7 years old. Now, I have certain things that I remember when I was real young, but it's like, I don't even remember my parents being together at all. Being married, nothing. I don't remember none of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, everything, by the time they're 7, you better have things in line. You better have your child listening to you. Have all the discipline out the way. Not saying you ain't going to have to redirect your child. But by the time that child's 7, that child should know what that look mean. You see what I'm saying? I'm letting you know. You way too late. That's why you see them kids on there murdering their parents or beating their parents up. Not on my watch, honey, because that eye be cutting. They know. Okay? I understand sometimes that eye don't work. And you just do whatever you need to do. All right. And again, be the example for the sake of your child's future. Again, you are living proof. You're the living example. Somehow we have parents and we thinking they should be the ones that know best, what's best. Their parents out here, they ain't got no common sense. They don't know what's best. But we're going to try best, okay? Or somebody else going to get you on the straight and narrow. I'm just going to say it like that. But everything you do is for the sake of this child. Y'all decide to have this child. So remember, everything you do is for the sake of the child. Okay, as far as school trips, field trips, activities, agree on which parent will chaperone. Maybe y'all field trips. Maybe y'all can alternate. Or maybe it's an understanding that the father can go on all the trips and the mama can't. Maybe the mama's a nurse and very seldom she can get off, but the father can. Maybe he do all the field trips. And maybe the mama do dropping off for soccer practice. I don't know. Y'all figure that out. But everything is done in writing, right? On email, right? So y'all have to come to that conclusion. Graduation, like they got a school play. I'm sure we can be cordial. You could be around. I don't care what went on in y'all past. Shouldn't be no beef. It shouldn't be no awkward feeling. Who to say? You don't have to sit next to them. You see they over here to the left? That means you can sit to the right. And y'all know how you hate to walk up in that job on Monday morning. You hate to see that mean old boss. But guess what? You put on that, good morning. If you can do that for your job, but you can't do that for your child, where they do that at? So again, you fake it until you make it. Especially around the child. So, and action.